Good morning. It has been one of those days. Let me get set up here. Find my own stream. Come on, Mary. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Jersey. Thank you so much, Jersey. Oh, my goodness. I have to start out my stream this morning with a big apology. I overslept. I overslept this morning. I woke up, but it just makes me all the more thankful for this art community. Janet Nash just went on like she was supposed to. Shelley, it was 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning over in Hawaii. She did a premiere, but she was there chatting with you. And Jersey, I so appreciate you, Laura. I so appreciate you. Um, she said, Mary, I scheduled my oral surgery around this life hop. And I'm going, oh my goodness. Oh, you guys, life happens. Life happens. These hops are just for fun. And Janet said that this morning, and I'm so glad that she caught on to that. These hops are just for fun. Good morning, everybody. And I get a kick out of Jersey. Jersey was still going. She was into, her challenge was to use that trash. And I thought, what an appropriate challenge, because I'm doing Rosemary's Trashanini journal this month. Very cool. And Shelley's challenge was, and I love how she called it a supply journal. It's not really, we call them flow books too, but she called it a supply journal, and she was using all of these papers that she's accumulated and book jackets. Very cool, Shelley. We so appreciate you. And Janet Nash has the prettiest tea box. She was using a tea box, and because I was late to the game this morning, I was still getting dressed and making my coffee, so I have to go back and finish watching Janet's, but I loved her tea box. So, very cool. So what am I going to do this morning? Well, let me welcome everybody in here first. Hi, Mary's Folly. Good morning. Hi, Janet, Liel, Renee, Mina, Jersey, Tina, the Artful Dabbler, Bootsy, Ruth. Good morning, everybody. Angie, hi, Angie. Arlene, there's Arlene, bless her heart. Arlene, we love seeing you again. And there's Janet Nash. Hi, Janet Nash. And Janet Baum. I gotta get all my Janets straight here. Janet B. Good morning, Janet, and Carla, and Candy, and Artsy Nancy, and Sabrina, the mismatch crafter. I feel like a mismatch crafter this morning. And let's see, who else? Lisa King. Good morning, ladies. Mitzi. Hi, Mitzi. All right. I think I'm up in Jersey, and Candy. I think I'm up. Oh, Biz up too. Hi, Biz up. So I think I'm caught up to the top. Dorinda's here. Kimberly's here. Christine, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl Bowman. Good morning, ladies. Okay. So what is my challenge this morning? Well, I'm going to challenge. Wait, look at all these scissors I have out. These are just my medium and small ones. I've got, of course, the good old faithful Tim Holtz. I'm getting a little bit of goo on them. And then I've got this pair I keep in by my chair. I just got them someplace at Walmart or something. They're a little bit uncomfortable with the handle. Tim Holtz scissors are really comfortable. And then I've got the smaller ones. So we're going to do some paper cutting. Now, in German, they call it Scherenschnitte. But I'm not going to do that fancy dancy stuff. No, we're not going to be because I'm not that talented yet with paper cutting. Oh, and I also have my my X-Acto knife. And if you guys ever watch Julie Faye Found Balzer, she does these lace pages in her journals that are just wonderful. I think she taught a class on it, but she's had several videos where she talks about cutting, and I've done that before. So I've got this out. I don't know. I call it doodling with an X-Acto knife. We'll play a little with that, but that's a little bit more involved than what I wanted to go into today. I want to keep it simple today. And here are some things. Like, let me get a piece of black paper here first and put down. Here are some things. We're just going to kind of keep this simple. I did a leaf. I did a tree. And then I did this kind of weird flower type thing. And of course, those are just 3 things I did. I want to keep my shapes simple. And then I've been saving the negative pieces. Like, here's the tree here. Here's the flower, and here's the leaf. Now, all you need is copy paper. All you need is a big stack of copy paper to play with, or tablet. It doesn't even have to be, or your own newspaper would work too. Your morning newspaper. I didn't get one out. I should run get one, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to be going a little bit longer this morning until about 9:45 because our wonderful Kathy Berg can't be with us this morning. She's got a doctor appointment. So let me go through some of the papers that I have here. I've got some blue paper. I've got a big stack of white paper that I'm going to keep out because that's what I'm going to start with. And then I get all this paper at the thrift store. Look, I've got colored papers in here. I got some pretty stationery. And then there's all sorts of colored papers that I can use if I want to pull out something. Let's see, what else do I have here? I've got a stack of, now this is black cardstock, and I might do 1 or 2 on there, but it's a little bit thicker. And I got a paper sack and a calendar. You can cut up an old, this is a 2019 calendar, but anything, this kind of reminds me of both Laura and Shelley's stream this morning, because it's kind of, some of this stuff are things that you might throw away, and or you might want to start a flow journal or a supply art journal. My supply journals, though, will have to be like Shelley. I could have a box of supply journals, but I really like what Shelley did. I got some graph paper here. I have a piece of this that I have already nibbled on over here. And I have a mail envelope and a paper bag. And the only thing I don't have here is the morning newspaper. I got a piece of wallpaper, another piece of wallpaper, and I grabbed this bubble wrap envelope. I don't know how well that's going to work. We might not use that. So those are kind of some things that you can use. We're going to start out with white paper, and we're going to start out simple. So if you happen to have a sheet of copy paper or scratch paper or something around, and you want to follow along, we're going to do some simple things. Good morning, everybody. I'm sure glad you guys have joined us. Hi, Dorinda. Hi, Janice. Good morning. I have been off my game this morning. Let me tell you, off my game this whole week. I feel like I need to go back to January. That's probably where I got off, because we did that great big January hop. But I feel like I'm off my game. Now, I am not an expert at this, and that's why I want to keep my shape simple. But I was watching videos. I've been kind of researching Scherenschnitte. Scherenschnitte, it's German for paper cutting. And I was listening to one video. It was 5 or 6 years old, and this expert paper cutter was was giving like a PBS seminar type thing, a community seminar, and she was telling all about the history and how paper cutting goes way back to the Chinese, but it's done in all cultures. So let's just start with the very simplest of simple that we all know. Two things is a heart. We all know a heart, don't we? We all know a heart. We've all done this for Valentine's Day. That is really paper cutting at its, and it doesn't even have to be symmetrical. If you get, you could make a crazy heart. Oh, my crazy heart. Oh, my crazy heart. So that's simple. Another, and I'm just going to keep these, I'm just going to stack them up as I go. Someplace. Let's see, let's put my paper over here so I can grab it when I need it and put my examples up above. Okay, another simple one. We're just going to start out with the simple stuff. And most of it is symmetrical. Let's cut this one in half. We don't need big sheets. Should I zoom in just a little? Let me zoom in just a teeny bit. And I want to remind you that this is the internet, and things could get crazy. If somebody doesn't come on at their assigned time, either watch for them a few minutes later or go on to the next person. Like, I did not get in there this morning. Well, I tell you, I was setting up at 5:55. I thought maybe I can get in there for 2 minutes. And of course I didn't. So I just went over to Janet's stream, and bless her heart. She really, Janet Nash sees the best in everybody, doesn't she? Doesn't she? She sees the best in everyone. She said, maybe Mary's having technical difficulties. And I'm going, yeah, my alarm. I turned my alarm off at 4 o'clock. I meant to get up at 4 o'clock this morning. I didn't make it. Okay, so I'm going to keep this ruler out in case I need it. Let's go to these scissors. Let's just cut another simple shape, which really, let's just cut a circle. Just cut a circle. This is the simple stuff that we're doing first, because I want to start out with some basic shapes just to show you how easy this can be. I mean, kids in grade school do this, right? So there's our circle. And I'm keeping my negative spaces as masks. I might do some art spray through there. Okay, what's another simple shape? Let's do a diamond or a square. You could call it either one. I'm going to cut it as a diamond. And it may not be a perfect one, but you know what I mean. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, right? So if you look at it this way, it's a diamond. If you look at it this way, it's a parallelogram and or a square. This is more of a parallelogram. So there's that. Simple shapes. What else can we make? A diamond, a square. Let's go on. Let's take and play with that, with the one I showed you earlier, the leaf. And I'll show you how I cut that. I just kind of cut it like you would a heart. Let's start up here. Just kind of start out cutting a heart shape, but then just curve in like this, and you might want to go in just a little bit more. Very simple shapes. And then cut a stem to it like that, like this. And sometimes when I'm sitting here doing this, just kind of playing, I call it drawing with scissors. You kind of see the shape in your mind's eye. I call it drawing with scissors. So here's a very simple, large. I made these fairly large. You could call that a tree too. You could call that a tree. But I'm going to call it a leaf. Now you can take this leaf let's just keep that one as the simple shape. I'll do another one. And you can expand on it. And let's just expand. Let's get a little bit fancier. Start cutting like a heart shape out. Just play like you're drawing with a heart. Only down at the inside part of the heart, you want to make your little stem. And this could be a tree, or it could be a leaf. And I'm going to go with the leaf shape. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some veins in it. And do I want them running this way or well, I could make them running both ways, but I think I'll go up. Or maybe I'll come and vein down that like that and have this one go up. And of course, because I have this folded in half, it'll be symmetrical. What you see on the left side of my leaf, you'll also see on the right side. And I'm just going to snip a little vein out of here. And just pretend like you're drawing it with your scissors. Just a very basic shape. We all can do this. Kids in grade school can do this. Okay, and let's make another one go up this way, maybe. And this way. And let's put a little slender one up here, like that. Now, because leaves don't always have that pretty round edge, some of them might, but we're going to put some little jaggy irregular sides on this leaf, like you might see on a plant. And I'm keeping this fairly, but all I have here is a piece of copy paper and a scissors and your imagination. Grab your imagination. I have to tell you, this morning, I was not a happy camper with myself this morning because I was late. But by the time I got to Laura's stream, I was giggling. And Laura said something. She said, giggling is good for the soul. Isn't giggling good for the soul? There's my leaf. There's my leaf. Now, I could put something in here, but we're going to leave it like that. There's my leaf. You can see that as a tree because it's got this shape. I see it as a tree kind of, but we can slenderize. You can always go back and play with this and, you know, let's make the stem a little bit more of a slender stem and maybe not look so much like a tree trunk. Maybe like that. Now it looks a little bit more like a leaf, a big leaf. And another thing you can do is maybe gently, don't crease it, but kind of gently fold it there. And we're going to cut a little notch in here just to give it a little, you know, snowflakes. We all cut snowflakes when we were kids, right? Most of us did cut snowflakes. Now, I have not attempted if you look up the term Scheren, it's Scheren, Schitte, something like that. It's German for scissors, Scheren, for scissors, and Schnitte for cutting, for snipping. So it's scissors cutting, and I'm just calling it paper cutting because that German word sometimes gets a little hard to pronounce. So there's my leaf, and that just came out of this very simple upside down heart almost with a stem that looks like a tree, but that's what that came out of. So what else can we do? Well, as I was researching, I saw one guy. It was really interesting to watch him. He had a person modeling, and I don't know how he did the head. How would have he done the head? because he did a portrait of a person. Now, I think I'll just do, let's cut a neck here. Let's cut a torso. A torso. Shall we cut a head here? We're gonna cut a person's head, and let's give them a neck. Now, I haven't done this before, so this may not, we'll see how this turns out. We're gonna make it a lady. We're gonna give her some hair here. Pretend this is her hair. Coming up and coming up this way. So how is that going to look? Let's check it out. And if you make a mistake, it's just a piece of paper. Oh, I think she'll look okay if now because we've got two eyes. The face is symmetrical, isn't it? Our face, we've got two eyes, the nose, and the mouth. So let's see if I can put a face on this lady. Let's see if I can put a face on her. Let's start with the eyes. You know, and they say on the head, your eyes start, what, about a third of the way from the top of the head, 2/3 of the way up. So I'm going to put the eyes right in here. But I'm going to gently, I'm not going to crease it. I'm just going to gently fold it. Just kind of like that. And we're going to, and I'm just going to make the eyes open eyes right now, just two open slits. You could do something, well, let's see if I can put an eyeball in there. A little eyeball. She'll be looking down maybe. And let's make it like that. And like that. Let's see how this looks. Let's see what kind of eyes I gave this lady. I don't even know myself. Oh, we need to, instead of this, she's got, let's snip this off. Let's snip this off. Let's fold this and gently again on the crease. We need to snip this out a little. And I meant we'll just make it go up like that. She's got big eyes with a little eyeball. I don't like the eyeball. I'm going to cut it out. I'd have to play around with that. But she's got big eyes. She's got big eyes, that's for sure. Oh, she's sweet. Let's give her some eyebrows. Let's see if I can give her some eyebrows. And you can draw if you need. You can draw. You don't have to do it. Because, see, I'm trying to visualize. Let's see. I'm going to come up this way and over this way and down that way, if I can. So let's start by just doing a little crease this way. Like that. Well, that was a little one, wasn't it? Well, we'll leave it that way. And I'm going to crease it this way. Now, I'm not sure this is proper paper cutting. This is me playing with my scissors and paper. Oh, I'm going to snip this off there. And now I want to go down. Now, there's probably a better way to make that curve, but this is my way for now. And I want to catch it at that point and just kind of, I want it to go both to kind of go down this way and that way. Let's see what kind of a, oh, I went up. Well, we'll leave that because I had it folded. What I wanted to do was come down this way again. Ignore this top cut here. So there she is. She's got some eyelashes at the bottom. Let's see if I can give her a nose without, let's just make her nose a little, hopefully I can do a nose here. A little round piece. I should be maybe using my smaller scissors. There's her nose. Oh, she's sweet. Now let's see if I can put the lips in there. I'm getting pretty close down to the bottom. Lips are going to come up like that. And let's see if I can give her a smile. And let's give her a bottom lip. She'll have an open mouth. I suppose I could leave a connector in there, but I'm not going to. Oh, look at her. Aww, now I'm liking her. I even don't mind this. This could be her coming up with her bangs. You know, her haircut. Let's see if I can give her a haircut here. Let's see, how can I do this? Really, you could make a little slit. Let's just make a little slit in here. And I'm going to do that by, again, kind of gently folding it. I just want I want a starting point right here with a little slit. So I can get my scissors in here. And let's give her a little face in here. Now I need a smaller scissor blade, but now let's get my smaller scissors out of here, see if I can't get in there better. And this is what I'm saying. It's just paper. You can use newspaper and play. You could, you know. But here's my lady. Oh, she turned out pretty, I think. I was wondering about her. Shall we give her a neckline here? Let's give her a neckline. Let's give her a neckline. Now, I'm not watching chat while I'm doing this, but I sure do welcome all of you. And I especially welcome the early birds. You beat me up this morning. You beat me up this morning. There we go. Aww. Oh, I like her. And what does the negative look like? Here's I'm saving my negative pieces here. Here's just her body of her head that looks like a tree almost. But this is how she turned out. Now, I would love to see how that guy that I was watching the video, he did a portrait of a man. I mean, the man was modeling for him. And I'm going, how would you ever, and I think it was even a side portrait. So he must have cut because he must have not folded his paper. And it's not a requirement to fold the paper. If you do symmetrical art where you have the left and the right mirroring each other, it's called symmetrical. But you don't have to do symmetrical art to do paper cutting. Let's play with some more stuff. So I did a leaf, I did a heart. Let's get fancy here. Uh-oh. We're going to start out, and this is why I call it, maybe I'll fold my paper the other way. I could fold it both ways because it's going to be a circle shape, but I'm more comfortable folding it horizontally. And we're going to think like a fancy-dancy leaf shape in here. And I did one of these when I was practicing, and you kind of have to, I'm going to snip this away. Well, no, I'm going to leave that. It'll just have a cut in it. It's kind of interesting to get. I want a leaf shape in here. I'm not sure that's exactly the way I want it to go. I kind of wanted it rounder. So this is a thing, really. There are people who do this as a hobby. I mean, they're good at it. I can't imagine doing all that intricate art. Now, let's come up, and I want it to be more of a circle, so I'm just going to come up this way and cut a leaf, bigger leaf here. And you kind of have to see this in your head like you were drawing with a pencil, only you're cutting with it. And you only get one chance at this. Once you make that cut, you've done it. We'll see how this looks in the end. I just want leaves. I just want leaves around the, like a circle with little leaves coming out. Oh, we're going to have to do a flower. I kind of practiced the other day doing this because I'm not an expert at it, but again, some of this stuff I haven't done before, so you're seeing me learn right along with you. But it's fun because it's cheap, you know. Get some, you could do this out of scratch paper. You could do it out of painty paper. You could do it out of yesterday's newspaper. Yeah, I'm coming down this way, and I want to put in one more leaf shape in here. If I can turn my scissors in here. This is getting a little bit more complicated, but after you cut those basic cuts, you're ready to go on to something more complicated. All right, so let's look at the negative here first. There's the negative. Oh, see, I wanted it more round. I've got it more of an oval shape than what I was going for, but that's okay. We'll leave it. We'll play with it. Maybe in here it is here. It looks like a fancy leaf, doesn't it? It looks like a fancy leaf. I wanted this more round. Let's bring this. Let's do some shapes on the inside, see what happens. Let's bring this in this way, go around this way. And of course, I'm turning my paper most of the time. Not all the time. Sometimes I turn my scissors, but you're supposed to turn your paper. That's kind of weird shape. I might go back and take care of that once I can get in it there. And I'm just snipping all of this out. This might be a weird shape. You can call this doodling with scissors. Doodling with scissors. You don't care that you're not perfect. You don't care that you're not perfect when you do this stuff because you're learning. You're learning, and it is good. That's the other thing I was looking at. I Googled the term cutting with scissors, and I found a lot of school related where they were saying how good it is for children to do paper cutting because it helps their motor skills. Okay, let's see what I have in here. I might like this a little better with all the intricate. Oh, look at that. That looks like a fancy leaf, doesn't it? I kind of like that. And look, it's got this round spot down here. This is very Art Nouveau. I could put this in my Art Nouveau and be very happy. And this could really be a pattern for a stencil. You could develop this into more of a round shape, or, you know, bring it down this way. You could do a lot of different things with this. I'm pretty happy with that. And here, of course, is, I like to save the negatives. And look, here's the negative. This makes a nice mask. If you were spraying, and let's just say I wanted to mask a part of this off, I might just want to fold it over this way, put this in here. You could kind of cut and enlarge that a little if you were using it as a mask so that you could fit this in here. You'd have to go this way. How did it go? We'd have to figure out what way it went. I think here, it went this way. So something like this. But I could even see doing it like that and then spraying all around this and masking this part out, maybe doing text in there. Shall we do that just for fun? Let's do that just for fun. Let's mask this out right here. And let's put you can't see it, but here's my cutout here. And we're going to leave it just like this. And I'm going to get out some spray. Hopefully I can grab one that actually sprays. I don't know if this dilution will... No, I pretty much used that up. Let's grab this. Get my coffee out of the way. And I don't care if it gets on my desk here. It's just drop paper. I mean, it's the back of my masterboard is what it is. Let's just spray around this. See what happens here. Spray that's pretty good. I want to do one more here. All right, let's pull the mask off first. And it's going to be a little wet. I'm going to set it up here. Let it dry a little. And let's pull the piece off. There we go. Isn't that cool? Now, that just happened to be the shape I was using at the time, which, you know, and then let me put this up above. Then you could come in maybe, I'm going to turn my towel upside down. You could come in, this is a little wet, but maybe you wanted to journal on here. Or, you know, maybe you just wanted to put this in your art journal as it is. It's a little bit wet. I'm not going to get out the heat gun. I'm just going to set it up there because I want to move on. So what else can I do? Let's try a different color of paper, but let me come out and chat. Let me come out and chat. Now I'm going to go until a little bit before 9 this morning because Kathy Berg is not going to be streaming this morning. So what do I have for my time? Let me look. Make sure my head is straight. 9:45. I said a little before 9. I'm going to go until 9:45. 9:45? Does Scrap Chick come on at 9 or 10? I'm usually off by 9. I might go until 9, until 9:40. It just depends if Scrap Chick comes on. I'll tell you, I'm still asleep this morning. Let's see. Tori says, that would be fun to doodle on. Yes, wouldn't that be fun to doodle on, Tori? That's a really good idea. Oh, thank you, Arlene. Oh, Arlene, that's so sweet. She went and got my video that I was playing with in 2018, doodling with the X-Acto knife. I did an entire little journal because I got so inspired by watching Julie Faye Van Balzer. She used her X-Acto knife, and I'm going to do that a little later. I'm not quite ready to go there yet. But she cut right in her journal. And I did an entire little 5x7, was it 5x7? It was a smaller little mini journal of where I cut out with the X-Acto knife. And then I also did some Christmas things in one of my holiday journals, fooling around with it. Hi, Candy. Mary, I wish I was happy. I wish I was. Hi, Constal. How do you pronounce your name? Constalair? Constalair? You loved when I did that? Aw. Let's see. Hi, Teresa. Good morning. I wish I could remember. I think Kathy Berg goes until 9:45, and then she hops right over to Scrap Chick. I think Scrap Chick comes on at 10. So I might kind of watch and see when Scrap Chick comes on. Oh, I have to be off by 10. I have to be off by 10. Here, you look like you might be Swedish, or do people still get the newspaper? I could not even get enough for my students to do paper mache. Apparently no parents get it anymore. Yeah, the newspaper, because of our electronic age, you know, we get so much of our news online. But here locally, we have a local paper that publishes. We get a newspaper every day. Yep, they still do. It's a little bit more expensive. I think my brother pays like about $140 for a year subscription. It works out to about 75 cents, between 75 cents and $1 a day. But he enjoys it. Oh, Teresa. Oh, thank you, Teresa. You just do my heart good. Let me grab. And hey, you guys, I want to remind you. Let me grab a. Where's my journal that I write stuff down in? I've been moving things around this morning. I'm going to write it on a piece of paper here. I'll put this in my journal so I won't forget. I want to write down super chat here. I don't want to forget Teresa. Thank you. And I'll put April. And I'll attach this to my other list. Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. I won't cut this one up. I'll put it inside my journal. Keep it out here. All right. What else is going on? That was so sweet. I certainly appreciate that. Yeah, we still get a morning paper here. My brother enjoys it. He pays for it. Mary. Oh, thank you, Teresa. You're so sweet. Teresa, if you want to put a link to your channel in, you're sure welcome to do that. Teresa has started doing videos. Hi, Tina. Hi, Mrs. Gigi. Hi, Nikan. Good morning, ladies. Journey's here. Hi, Journey. Hi, Nina. Did I say good morning to you? Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Oh, thank you, Kimberly, for putting my head on this morning. Colleen comes on at 11 a.m. Eastern, so it would be 10 here. So I can go until 9:45 like I have on the schedule. Oh, thank you, Arlene, for putting in the link. I appreciate that, to Teresa's channel. Yes, thank you for the treat, Teresa. I need a treat. I need a sip of my coffee this morning. So the point is, when you're doing this paper cutting, think of yourself as a kid. Don't think of yourself as one of those talented expert paper cutters, because if you haven't been doing it, some of you may have been doing this for years. But I think in Germany, it started, that's what they do it for Christmas. And they were showing some Christmas trees that just had nothing but paper cutting on it. Beautiful white paper cutting. And I thought, oh, I could have done that for my Charlie Brown tree because I sprayed that branch white. And it's still out in the living room. I took the Christmas decorations off of it. Now it's just a white branch. Oh, let's do that. Let's make some things for my Charlie Brown tree. We'll do that. I want to finish saying good morning here. Hi, Violet. Good morning, Violet. Tina O is here. Candy's here. Hi. Good morning, ladies. Angie says it's time for her to go eat her shot. Oh, Angie. We'll be thinking of you. I would say, I guess the best thing to say is, don't let it hurt. Aww. Aww. Y'all will not believe what Mary did yesterday. She called us adults. I got such a big giggle out of that. I was saying that, if in these streams, if like this morning, I overslept this morning. Well, actually, I woke up about 10 till 6, and I was trying frantically to get on, but it takes me at least 15 minutes to set up because I have to turn on my tablet here. I have to set up my phone, turn on my lights, get all my supplies, think about what I'm going to say. And by the time I was ready to hit the go live button, it was 6 o'clock, and I said, oh, Janet's already on. So, but my point is, we're adults here. And Arlene, and I was making that point, and you know, it stuff happens, life happens, and a lot of life is happening in our group. Some of us don't feel well. Shelley's life has been turned upside down, but I so appreciate Shelley coming in. And Laura said something in Shelley's stream. She says, Shelley, we're so glad that you're staying connected with us through all of this because we need, all of us need that connection. We need our connection to each other, and now more than ever, and especially in 2020, but even now. And when your life gets upside down, you may not be able to get here when you intended to, but come when you can. And don't, we're adults. We know that if my internet goes fluey on me like sometimes it does, and I buffer, hold the phone. I'll be back. You know, it's and Jamie had her water pipes freeze and burst, and you know, a flood in her studio, and she's having completely to do everything. And it's just, you know, life happens around us, and we need each other for support more than, I mean, you need your family for support. You need your um, brick and mortar friends, you know, your real life friends. We're real life friends, but you need your physical friends, your friends locally. You need your family, but we also need each other. You know, you need that time away. And I'm so glad Shelley is staying connected with us. But if something happens in our stream, we're all adults here. We're all adults. And I was making that point in my stream, and Arlene said, "Did she just call me an adult?" I loved it. I loved it. So true, Mary. This community is my only socializing opportunity right now with my crazy schedule. Yeah, you know, and I'm way off in the boondocks, really. I'm in a small town. I miss Madison so much. Madison, Wisconsin is where I lived for 13 years. You know, and I could go around the corner to Hobby Lobby and Michael's and run to the bookstore, run to Walmart any time of the day. That I miss all that. Now, if I want to even go to Hobby Lobby, it's 50, 60, 70, I call it 70 miles. It's not quite 70 miles. Well, it's 70 round trip plus away, you know, and you have to make a day of it if you want to go shopping. And I'm not getting any younger, but I'm kind of way out in the boonies. So you guys are my social too. You're my social. Hi, Gail. Tudhill, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you join us. Nakan is here. There's Becky. Becky, if you need to go back to sleep, Mary will forgive you. She says she's just waking up. I woke up too late this morning, Becky, so I understand. Guess what, guys? Guess what? Don't tell the world. But tomorrow's Becky's birthday. Happy birthday, Becky. Happy birthday. Do you have plans for tomorrow? Are you and Scott going to do anything? Arlene says, this community is my family. Yes, it is. And I can sit here and chat with you when I should be snipping paper, but I'm having more fun chatting with you. Becky, open the eyes. Isn't tomorrow your birthday? I think so. I could be wrong, but I know the 17th. On the 17th, Arlene has a birthday. Your birthday was, how come did I not see? Your birthday was March 8th? I've been telling everybody your birthday was tomorrow. Well, happy birthday. See, this makes me feel like a fool. Becky, a very belated birthday to you. Did I miss that? Why did I see? I thought I saw that on Facebook that your birthday was on the 10th. Happy belated birthday, Becky. You know, my mother used to give me things, and she'd say, happy birthday. And she'd do that several times a year. She'd say, Happy birthday. So happy birthday, Becky. I don't know where I picked up your birthday. I've been telling everybody your birthday was tomorrow. So if you start getting birthday cards, Becky. Who says Pisces aren't sneaky? This is one of these mornings I probably should have stayed in bed. As a non-adult, Becky can have a birthday every month, like our youngest granddaughter. That's true. Let's just give Becky a birthday every month. Becky says, my mother-in-law just remembered she missed my birthday and her son Stephen's birthday as well. We won't miss it if you tell someone several times a year. Happy birthday to you. All right. Well, I certainly put my foot in my mouth there, didn't I? You know what? I don't care. I'm just going to move on. I have put my mouth in my foot. I put my foot in the mouth so many times. I swear I saw that your birthday was April 10th. Well, I almost swear it. I almost swear it. Where did I see that? I want to see whose birthday. Let me look here. Let me get my pretty out here. It's dried now. So I cut this shape out. Whoops. You have to be kind of careful because it's delicate. I cut this shape out and then I made a mask out of the negative. Let's turn it this way. I made a mask out of the negative. This is the positive. And here's the piece that I cut it out of. Oh, you know whose birthday is April 10th? You know what, Becky? It's Becky Curry, Currey. And I just saw Becky. See, that's sometimes when I'm reading Facebook, I glance at things. It's Becky Curry's birthday. She's in Phibbsville Friends. I got off of Phibbsville Friends. Becky Curry. Becky, happy belated birthday, Becky Curry. Becky, happy belated birthday to you, and Becky Curry, happy birthday tomorrow. Jean Spalding, birthday was April 10th, too. Arlene's birthday is the 17th, and Renee is Little Red Wagon. I think she's in here. Her birthday is the 18th. So happy birthday to all that. That's what got me confused. It's Becky Curry's birthday. All right, let's go. Let's move on. At least I know why I did what I did. Let's pick some colored paper. Shall I do a flower? Let's do a flower out of this piece of stationery paper that I got at the thrift store. And I think I'll cut it in half. Let's do a flower. Of course, we can do the traditional snowflake too, but I don't know if, what did I do with my ruler? Honestly, Mary. You guys think Mary should have stayed in bed this morning? Might have been a good idea. Then I would have really felt bad. All right, it's white on the back. It's stationary. Let me put my ruler back where I can find it. let's do a flower. I'm going to fold it in half. It's going to be a symmetrical one, and I don't know, the background may not show too much. Let's cut a centerpiece, and let's cut some. This one's going to have a green tip on it. This bloom, and we're just going to cut some blooms. We're going to do just a very typical, very simple shapes to start out with. I'm not going to try to be something I'm not. I'm not going to try to be a artist expert at this. I just want to have fun. I just want to be a kid this morning. Let's just do a simple flower shape. And let's see, let's do this one down here. I keep hearing this dinging noise. Last night I thought the doorbell was ringing. Or let's see, this one isn't. This one needs to come. This one isn't right. This is weird. I might have to practice this one. Let's move my paper up a little. We might do this one over. Come on. Open up. Oh, it's not too bad, but these are longer than this. Can I cut these down a little? Let me snip them down just a little. Maybe if I cut this one in a little, it will make that other one look a little. Yeah, let's just make it look more weird. This isn't quite what I was going for, but I'm just playing. I'm just playing, and that's what you should do. It's just a sheet of paper that I got at the thrift store even. All right, let's see what I got here. It's more oblong than what I'm wanting, but it's okay. Let's try the other one. Let's see what I learned from here's the negative part of it. I like the negative better than I do the positive. I like that. And you can spray through this. In fact, you can stack all these up. You know, you could stack it all up and spray a background sheet on some of this stuff. I'm saving all my pieces here. Let's try it again. I tend to want to make those longer. You know, I tend to want to bring it out like an oval. I want more of a round. This time, let's draw. If there's nothing wrong with drawing, let's draw it on the back so it'll be prettier on the front. Let's draw. Maybe that'll keep me in line. So here's my shape. And we want to bloom here. There's nothing wrong with drawing it out. Oh, see? Now I already know. See, I made those long, and I already know I don't want them that long. So this is the back, so let's get out a bolder pen. And this will soak through. Here's my shape. Let's do this petal here. And this petal up a little. It's okay to make mistakes. And this petal out here. And so if you draw it out, you might like it a little bit, but I still think it's going to be oblong. I think it's going to be a little oblong. Let's cut it out and see what it looks like. And in fact, the lady that I was watching, I was telling you I was watching her. She was giving like a PBS presentation. She was showing how she designed her pieces. And she was doing a wedding piece. It was really kind of a neat video. And she was telling all the history of it, of Scherenschnitte. Scherenschnitte for the German. And they call it different things in different cultures. I don't know what the Chinese call it. I call it paper cutting. Doodling with scissors. And that's all this is, really. It's doodling. I come way down there. Let's see if I can meet it. Oh, I don't want to cut that. I want a negative. And I did cut it there. See if I can save that. Yeah, Mary. You goofus. There. So there's my flower. Negative. Now let's give this a... I might move this up just a teeny bit. And here's the back side of it. Oh, that's pretty. I can go with that. So drawing it out helps, doesn't it? Drawing it out helps. And here's the positive. Now, because this is stationary, it has a faint design on there where you could write. But I could see doing something like this. And maybe I was writing a letter. Let's say I was writing a letter to Arlene. I could take this piece of stationery, and I could spray this if I wanted, but I could put this on here. So let's get a blue. I like the idea of doing this stationery, but let's get a blue sheet of paper here. So it'll show up there, or black. But if I was writing a letter here, well, it still doesn't. If I was writing a letter on black paper, maybe I could use white ink and write, "Dear Arlene," and then I was thinking, you know, this could be the accent part of it. Mary's just chattering away. Oh, which gives me an idea. This is kind of big for it, but let's try a little Art Nouveau here. Let's try a little Art Nouveau. Shall I draw it out first? Let's draw it out first on a half sheet of paper. Mary's got an idea. So we're going to do what I call well, it'll be a line like this. I like the lines. And then we're going to make a flower come out this way, like this. Maybe we'll call it a leaf instead of a flower. I'll make another leaf coming out this way. And maybe one coming here. Oh, and I need a line there. Well, there's nothing saying that I can't end that line there and start it again here. And make this line here and come here. Now, let's put a flower in here. Let's do the center like this. That'll be a little bit harder to cut, but, and then I'm going to bring us a petal and another petal, and maybe we'll leave it like that. Well, I could cut all that out. I'm thinking. And we'll do another petal in here. We'll just do 3 petals. And then we're going to bring this double line coming this way. And that's as much as we're going to do on this. Now I'm going to cut it. And what I should have is a big long square. I could get a little fancier in here, especially up in here. let's try to bring one down in the center. Something like that. And I'm not sure how this will look. Like that. And then I guess I could, no, that's not going to work. We'll just leave it. It'll have two leaves going that way. Let's just bring one down in here like that. And this could be all writing space in here, or maybe you could put this in your Art Nouveau journal. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to cut this line out. I need to leave a connector though, or I'll have. I want my border to stay. So I need a connector. So this is where I have to sit and think. I have to think how let's just go ahead and cut this to here. And we're going to cut this shape out. And I'm going to open it up and look at it and see what I have. Because if I cut this, I like this. Now it's wobbly, but if you kind of down, but if I would cut this all the way around, you know, this piece would fall off. I don't want this piece to fall off. So when I cut this line, what I'm going to do is, get my pen out again. When I cut this line, that's the one I want. I'm just going to, what I want to do is bring this one down a little, like that, in there. And I'm going to have it in a little. Now, you don't have to. It's just what I'm going to do. Because I don't want this side piece to fall off. Let me finish cutting this flower. Let's see what I get here. Let's see what I get. This is Meri playing. I won't say it'll be perfect. If you want perfection, you're going to have to go to one of those expert Schneer artists. And they are out there. There's some beautiful work there. I can't imagine how they get all those intricate designs. I'm starting with the simple stuff. Let's see what I get. Let's see what I get. I'm going to treat where I sketched here as the back. My front is not going to have any drawing lines on it. And if you need to do intricate stuff, use the very pointy points of your scissors. That's what I'm doing now, is I'm doing some intricate. I'm doing some intricate, and I imagine it would help if your pages were held together with maybe a piece of washi tape. I want to get in here and cut this leaf shape out in here. Come on, I don't want to cut you off. There we go. So ignore this line. We're going to leave that as a connector. But we're going to cut this flower shape out. Yeah, did I do that right? Let me open it up and see what I have. Yeah, I think I want it to come out, I think. So we'll just see a negative space in here. We're going to snip it out. And I'm not sure that's the thing to do, but you know what? I could save that and save these pieces. And if I was doing a collage, I could put those back in if I wanted. Oh, let's see what I have here. Let's see what I have. Oh, I like that. I like that. See, I've got that negative shape there and negative shape there, and I got positive that I could write in if I wanted. Now, let's finish this. I drew that line there. I don't think I need to put it in. I think I can. I'm going to make a little snip. I'm going to fold it. This is me doodling. I'm not saying this is the proper way to do this. This is Mary Doodle, my doodling with scissors. I'm doodling with scissors. I made a little snip there. I'm going to get my scissors blade in there. Where'd I do that? Right here. And I'm just going to cut down. Call it doodling with your scissors. Play. Play as you would as you were a kid. I don't know if a kid would do something. Some kids might do something this intricate. And then I just want to cut a very thin. You could do this with an X-Acto knife too. And that lady said that I was listening to, that I keep talking about, she said that she uses an X-Acto knife to get things out. So it isn't all scissors art. It might have started out that way. Let's see if I can get this up. I'm not sure that the expert Schnitter folks use an X-Acto knife, but you probably could if you wanted to cut the intricate stuff out with. Now, I want this to stay. I don't want my center part to fall out. So I'm going to have a connector in here. I don't have it. See, I should have had a connector right here. And I could, if I wanted to, I could take and make a connector and do a piece around there. I might do that. Just put a little piece of paper right there. But I know for a fact if I keep this up, the centerpiece will fall out. And well, I got connectors here. Let's see if I can keep this connected here. I have to think how I want to do it. I've got it connected in here. So we want to connect it up here too. So I'm not going to, let's see, I'm going to leave here. I'm going to do it this way. When I cut this, I'm not going to start there. I'm not going to start at the edge. I'm going to start in a little. And I need a snip. I need a snip. This is folded a little. This is Mary doodling with her scissors, if you want to know. Get my blade in there. I may need my embroidery scissors. I don't know what I did with them. Alrighty, there we go. Trying to keep my paper even here. And I'm just going to go, do I want to cut that out? I'm asking myself stuff here. And then I want to connect, I want to leave this part connected. You have to kind of visualize what's going to happen. Like, you need to keep your paper edges even if you want symmetrical cuts. I would think putting a piece of washi tape on it might help. Mary's moving along here. I'm going to cut there. We're going to snip that off. My paper wants to go uneven on me. I wonder how they do that. How they do the edges when they're actually cutting here. Let's see what I have. Oh, it's getting caught. I like it. I like it. I need to clean it up a little here. What I have. Let's clean this up. I got some snips to clean in there. Doodling with your scissors. How about a Zen doodle? Wouldn't that be something to try, a Schern Schnitt Zen doodle? Ah, because you would have to, and if you wanted it all connected, how would you do that? A Zen doodle Schnitt. All right. So instead of doing that line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to use this as a connector in here. And I'm going to do my leaf here. You have to think like if any of you had made a design for a Cricut machine or a stencil design. You have to think connectors. And thinking back on that video I watched to that lady, she called them hinges. She said when she taught kids, she didn't call them connectors. She said, think of a hinge. Think of it as a hinge. Let's see what I have here. Down in there. And then I want to grab it up here. I'm not doing a beautiful curve here. But not all leaves are beautiful curves either. I want to get this. This might be where it might be good to have your X-Acto knife. But I'm using this scissors. I want to pull that out. There. All right, let's see what I have. Oh, I like it for what it is. I like it. So see in here, I left a hinge. I left a connector in here. And I knew that if I would have brought this clear out, if I would have snipped clear to the end of this line, this entire piece, and did that on all sides, this entire middle would fall out. And that's what I was trying to prevent. Okay, we're going to do this one. And let's see. I've got this. So we are going to, how am I going to do this? I want to get inside here. I want to get inside of the leaf. I'm going to make a snip. And I'm not sure this is the right way, the proper way to get inside of an area, but I need a snip. So I'm just going to make a snip like that because I need a place to start. And I'm going to cut my leaf. And I'm having a hard time cutting a pretty leaf. It's a jaggedy leaf, but leaves are jagged, aren't they? Yeah, sure they are. All right, we want to come down. Come on, Mary. Don't stop now. I'm having a hard time doing a pretty curve. So we'll do an ugly curve. If you have a hard time doing a pretty curve, do an ugly one. Who cares? It's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. We're going to cut a stem in here. I like that. Now, I want to leave that area. Let's cut this out. It didn't come all the way out. Let's snip that. Now let's cut this. And I'm going to leave some of that line there. Practice what I preach and use the tip of my scissors here when I'm cutting detail. Because it's hard, if you're cutting detail, it's hard to get the big shank of the blade down in there. Mary's just chattering away, thinking that she's actually doing something. Oh. All right, we want to do my third leaf here. So I'm going to come in this way. Now, I'm considering what I'm working on here, where all these lines are on my sheet of paper. I'm calling this the back of it. So if I would collage this down, if I would collage it down, I would glue that down. And I would imagine if you didn't want to collage it down, if you drew in a very light pencil mark, you could erase all the lines. I drew in ink. I want to cut this leaf out a little better. I'm having a hard time doing the curves on here. There we go. All right, let's open it up and see what I have. I like it. After all that work, I like it. And see, I could write in here. Or if you had another color, let's say this was not blue. Let's say these were in white. Let's just take my white flower and put on here. Let's put my white flower on here. You could build up stuff. That's my odd piece. Let's put this leaf on there. You know, you could make a collage out of what you cut here. I'm not going to, but you could. I kind of like the flower right there in the center. And I do like this leaf on there. But I would say if you do stuff like this, start large. Like I did this big leaf. I did the heart shape, I did the circle, I did the diamond, I did the tree, and then you work to get more intricate. And if you sat here and did this for a hobby over and over and over again, you'd get better at it. All right, while this is sitting here, I'm going to come out and chat because I don't want to completely ignore you guys. I get excited about what I'm doing. Oh, thank you, Jersey. Thank you, Riri. Riri, congratulations on winning. She just escaped my head. The lady who gave away that big box of Purge. What's her name? It just escaped me. I know her like I know the back of my hand. But congratulations on winning it, Riri. Lori Marie Jenkins. Yes, thank you, Riri. She is a really, she teaches. I think she teaches art. She teaches classes. Yeah, she's really good, isn't she? Congratulations on winning her Purge box. Who is LMJ? Lori Marie Jenkins. Thank you, Darla. Jersey says, I'm looking at classes at the folk school now. Mary, I'm ready for a vacation this summer. I wish I lived closer. I think that would be so cool. Jersey, if you look back maybe in last year sometime or get Aunt Beck to leave you a link, Aunt Beck actually went and visited that folk school. And she was showing, they didn't go into, she was showing the different buildings, I think, of it. I don't think she showed, I don't know if they allowed cameras in. I'm not sure, but I know Aunt Beck visited that folk school in North Carolina. But there are other schools around. There are other uh, places, even in Wisconsin. I was so tempted to. They have some places in Wisconsin that where you can go spend a weekend and do art. They used to publish in the Somerset magazines, and I don't know if they still do, but at the back of one of those magazines, and I can't remember which one it was, they have a schedule of tours and classes and things like that where you can. I would love to do a vacation like that. Wouldn't that be a great way to spend your if you don't have to pay rent or anything, spend your stimulus money? Wouldn't that be fun? I'm not going to. You'd have to wear a mask. I think I would wear a mask for that. I really do. I think I would put a mask on and take along my sanitizer and get a vaccine and everything just so I could go to an art seminar. Or you can sit home and stream on your desk. Thank you, Janet. She says, I love the way Meri plays and experiments. And you know what? It usually turns out in the end. See, when I was doing these leaves, I was kind of struggling. And I had to remember that you have to put connectors in here. If I didn't put connectors in here, this entire centerpiece would just fall out. So you have to kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And you know what? If it falls out, so what? It's just a piece of paper. It's less than a penny. And you've learned a lesson. You go, oh. And you know, if it falls out, you can always use a piece of washi tape. And said, oh, look, let's art this piece up. Let me get back into my chat. I got out of my chat. Google Shag Alley. Yes, Violet, that's it. I know, I looked at that. Isn't that it's west of, is that the one in Mount Horeb? Or is that the one in Mount Horeb? It's west of Madison, Shagrag Alley. I don't know if it's Mount Horeb. There's another mount out there. Yes, Arlene, I have dreamed of going there too. And another person now, I would love to go to one of her classes. I don't know if she's teaching them in person now since 2020, but Donna Downey. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, there are people not in our group per se, but online that I know who have gone to, I think CC Creations, was she the one who went to Donna Downey's watercolor seminars or something? I can't remember. It's been a couple years. But wouldn't that be fun? Or maybe even have our own. Darla says, thanks. Listening off and on as I'm preparing tasks needing my attention today. Hello to everyone. I look forward to watching the morning streams and those night ones. I hope to see you then. Thank you for popping in, Darla. It's in the driftless area of Wisconsin. I think it's west of Madison. You call that the driftless area? Actually, I think it's because when I used to drive back to Nebraska, I would go west on Madison and I'd go through Mount Horeb, and then you go down, you take the road west, you go down through Decatur, Iowa, and you can go down through Galena, Illinois. You can really, you can visit some really interesting spots on the way home. Jersey, I get their pamphlets every year and I dream and drool. It's okay to dream and drool. I do too, but I never quite had the money to do it. My money always went for other things. But you know the other thing I dream of doing? And that's taking a steamboat ride from Louisiana up north to Canada on the Mississippi River. I've always dreamed, or it's the Missouri River. I can't remember which one it is. They have those steamboats. I thought how fun it would be to just spend a weekend or a week and just do it and do well, it wouldn't really be urban sketching. It would be plein air sketching. But sketch as you go. Sketch your And that's doable. That's something that, I mean, it may take if you go for more than a little side trip, I mean, a little day trip, if you go for a week, it might take some vacation money, but that's stuff I dream of doing. But now you'd probably have to wear a mask and you'd probably have to be vaccinated and you'd have to be careful nowadays, but it's still something you dream about. Jersey said, I just requested a catalog, Violet, and one never knows. Dreams. Jersey, are you on the move too? I think I saw where you said that your farm sells. Are you selling that beautiful farm that you guys live on? And where are you guys moving to? I don't know. You and Shelley are on the move. Hi, created by Tina Adams. Good morning. It's probably the Mississippi. I'm in Louisiana where I am, and we have steamboats that run out of New Orleans. I'll bet that's it, Tina. Yeah, you'd think I would know, but I'll tell you, I'm on my off day today. I'm on an off day today. You would think I would know which river runs, but we have the Missouri River too. There's the Missouri River and the Mississippi River. I'm going to have to look up my geography to get up in my head where they're placed. We will be moving from here at some point, but not out of New Jersey until June. Oh, so it's about a year or so away. But you're thinking about it. Your head's heading that way, so you're planning. You guys have such a beautiful farm. But you know what? If that's what you guys need to do, that's what you need to do. I miss living down with my parents on that. They had a little house on the Little Blue River, and it was just a little old farmhouse. I mean, and it wasn't anything to brag about. It was an old building. It was probably built in the 20s. But it was quiet down there, and it was right along the river. Oh, well, I shouldn't say right along. It was about I would say maybe a couple blocks north of the river, but it was enough that you could walk down there. And it was so quiet. You'd have the deer would come through that you could at night in the summertime, the coyotes would run down there and you'd hear them barking about a mile away. All the coyotes yelling, and then they'd get closer and closer and closer, and they'd be running down by the river, the coyotes, and you'd hear them at sunset, and the wild turkeys, and even the cows in the field. You miss all that. And I miss Madison for different reasons. I miss Madison because of the shopping and even my friends. I miss my friends in Madison. I miss my church group that was up there. I even miss my job. But you know what? Life goes on. Life goes on, and I'm here. I'm happy. I've got a roof over my head. I got my desktop. So, Mary, it's a family situation, so it's what's best for all of us, for all the families involved. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Your family is important. Your family is very, very important. They come first, well, depending on your life. But your family's important. It's important to have family. And that's what I do appreciate about being down here, because I never knew my little grandniece. She was born when I was in Madison. She was probably 2 years old before I even met her. So, and she was very shy. She wasn't warming up to me at all until we started playing mermaid. And I would sit on the couch, and she would lay on the couch, and her feet would be on my lap. And I said, "Well, you're like a little mermaid." And she'd start swimming, and then she'd get down on the floor and pretend she was swimming, and I'd say, "Oh, here comes a fisherman. He's going to put in his fish hook and reel you in." And he's, "No, she's swimming away." And so you miss all those times if you're off away from your family. So family's important. Now she's got a swimming pool, and she's winning all these ribbons for swimming. I'll bet it all started because we played mermaid. I'm going to tell her that sometime. Do you remember when we played mermaid? She probably doesn't remember it. But now she's a fish in another pond. Mary, can't quite get to Canada on the steamboats. However, you can get to the Twin Cities. Oh, yeah. Well, that would be cool. I would settle for the Twin Cities by steamboat. Wouldn't that be fun? Because you probably go from the Twin Cities down probably through Galena, Illinois, and then down through Missouri, down that way, and then down to Louisiana. It's probably be the route that they'd take. Wouldn't that be fun? That's something I always dream of doing. And, you know, it would depend on if you went on a day, well, a long trip like that would probably take more than a day if you did the whole length, but you don't even have to go the whole length. But if I was going to do it, I'd save up my money and go from the south to the north. Jersey says, "Oh, Mary, it's a family estate situation, so that's what's best." Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. Arlene says, "I miss the Wyoming wilderness, but I love it here in the East Tennessee. There are deer, fox, groundhogs, and turkeys and more." Yeah. Yeah, you know, we live in such a big, beautiful world, don't we? All over the world. Tanya was remarking on, I don't know if I read it in a post or where, but she was remarking about how beautiful it was out there. And, you know, I'm going, we live in a big, beautiful world. I almost can't wait to get out in it again. Auntie Mary. Yeah, she called me. I was Auntie Mary to her. Well, I still am. But you know, she's growing up now, and you know, you don't play those kid games anymore. So, however, my brother came home last night, and she's got her. I don't know. I've only seen it from a distance, but she's got her own little swimming pool in the backyard, and it's not just a little thing. But she's winning some ribbons in swimming, and she's involved in, I think, basketball. I don't know if she's playing soccer or anything, but maybe we'll get to some of her games this summer. I'll have to talk to my brother. What did Laura say? Groundhogs, Arlene. Romeo and the groundhogs have been like Looney Tunes cartoon. Hi, Kim. K and RP Kim. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. You had an Auntie Mary jersey? And my mom is an Auntie Mary. Aww. Laura, we have a Caddyshack situation here. AJ's Inspired Life. Good morning, AJ's Inspired Life. Welcome, welcome. We're kind of taking a chat break. I've been doing paper cutting here on the simple side. But you know what? I'm really happy with the things that have come out. I'm going to put them in my art journal, but not here, probably not here. You know what? I'm going to go until 10 o'clock, and it's almost 9:30. But I like chatting with you guys. Hi, Barbara, Chicken Pot Pie Society. And I would love to visit Canada someday. That's another thing I dream about doing, Violet, is getting on one of those trains and taking a train trip from one side of Canada to the other and seeing the beautiful Canadian country. I've always dreamt about doing that. I don't know about the Rocky Mountains. Those trains, when I watch those videos of trains going in the mountains, I'm holding my breath, and it's just a video. Oh, dear. Arlene says, one more time. This is Julie Faith and Bowser's that Mary follows. Yes, thank you, Arlene, for going and getting all those links. Barbara says, Mary, you will be my guest. Yeah, I would love to meet some of my Canadian friends, Barbara and Barbara and Chick Pot Pie Society and Barbara Fillion and Ruth Lamb. I would love to meet is it Sherry Habing that's from Canada? Hi, Jane. You would have to view the mountains, Mary. Jane, are you in Canada too? I think you are too. Let's just have a Canadian get together. Whoops. What do I have here? What's going on? Come on. What happened? Where'd you guys go? There you are. Yeah. I got out of my chat. Yeah. Oh, you're in Saskatoon? How do you pronounce that? Saskatoon? Mary, a train ride across Canada would be breathtaking. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So you know what though? Talking about that, um, it's okay to be an armchair traveler too, and that's almost what we've had to do the last year. And I've often said that I want to do a travel journal where I just travel around to different areas on the country, and I'd have to, watch videos and stuff, and I probably would have to be careful about copyright. But, I could sit and sketch things and say, oh, I went to South Carolina today, and Becky says to go to Charleston. And so I went to Charleston, and I think Becky and Scott were remarking about all the different doorways and different entranceways in Charleston. And didn't they do a Christmas video, if I remember right, where they went to visit, was that Charleston? Charleston, South Carolina would be something. I would love to just travel. I'd love to do what Tanya and her hubby are doing there. They have that RV, and they've been planning this trip for a long time. And they went out west. They went down and visited Lisa, and now they're heading out west to the southwest. Wouldn't that be fun to actually see our country? Of course, I've always loved to drive around. I drove between Madison and Nebraska many times, between Indianapolis and Missouri. I've made several trips that way. I've been down to Texas and back. I've been out to Colorado and Wyoming and back. And I've even driven as far as Pennsylvania and what was it, Pittsburgh. I drove to Pittsburgh once by myself. Can you believe that? And of course, I didn't know where I was going. And when I went through Pennsylvania, I went through Gettysburg. And when I was coming home, I came back through Gettysburg and it was dusk. And I swear, I almost felt the Civil War around me because they have all this, but it was so, I don't want to call it was eerie. It was more historical. You almost felt those soldiers out there watching you drive through and saying, we fought for our country. We fought for you to enjoy this beautiful world, this beautiful state that you're driving through. That's what I felt when I drove through Gettysburg. And it makes you appreciate history. It makes you appreciate the people who came before, who sacrificed so that we can enjoy our life today. Now I'm on my soapbox. What did Becky say? Charleston has some beautiful places to see, but it's a headache to drive in. They told me that about Nashville too. I thought it would be always fun to go to Nashville. Was it Nashville or was it Chattanooga? I think it's Nashville. Arlene could probably tell me, but they told me that it was a headache to drive through the downtown of one of those towns in Tennessee. So I didn't go. Oh dear. Violet said, I live just outside of Charleston and I didn't like living there. I'm not an ocean person, I'm a mountain person. Well, see, you don't have to live there, you just have to visit. But when you go visit, take your sketchbook with you. That's what I'd love to do. And I probably wouldn't have an RV as large as Tanya and her husband's because I couldn't handle it. But a small one would be fun. A mid-sized one that I could drive. I think that would be fun. And I always told my brother that, I have this dream of driving all around the United States and sketching, but I need to start in my own backyard. And I kind of did that in Madison. I sketched a lot of places in Madison. I need to do that more here in Nebraska. Hi, Elvis is a big sweetie. Welcome, welcome. Oh, don't worry about being late. I'm just chattering away. I watch a gal that lives in her van. Yeah, I've seen some of those videos too. I don't watch them regularly. I don't know if I'd want to live permanently. Although I have threatened to. When I moved, before I moved down here to Nebraska, I thought I was going to have to live out of my car. But and my brother, he says, you know, because we had some like 25 below weather here last winter in February, and he'd say to me, "How would you like to be living in your car now?" You know, and I'm going, well, you know, I'd probably go find someplace warm, even if I'd have to, you know, I don't know what, uh, go into a shelter or something for the night. I won't do that, but I mean, I don't have to do that now, thank God. But I wouldn't want to have to live in my van if it was 25 below. Brr. Aunt Beck said she also bought a piece of property and she lives in the warmer months that has several small rustic cabins. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, Nashville. I think Nashville was the one that they were telling me was, well, you know, that's because they got all those, isn't that where the country music comes out of? And, you know, it's almost like, I don't want to call it Branson, but it's very much a country music center. Branson, Missouri is kind of, I've driven down in Branson, Missouri, and downtown Branson is kind of a pain to drive in. But you're gonna have to get familiar with that Norma Branson, who owns a limousine. She and her husband drive own a limousine company down there. I'm missing her. So if you're out there listening, Norma, come back. Aw. Arlene said, Nashville is a pain in the backside, but Atlanta is worse. Yes. Now, I've been down to Atlanta. I did not really drive down there. When I was working in the 80s, the 1980s, I lived in Denver. And the company that I worked for sent me to a seminar down in Atlanta. And I flew down there. They flew me down there, and I rented a car. And what got me there was, you know, I'm from Nebraska, where you can see out. We see the fields for miles and miles. And you drive south out of Atlanta, and it's, you guys that live back east, you're used to all these trees. I watch Becky and Scott go for drives, and there's all these trees. And even in the Rocky Mountains, you can't see out. I can't see the countryside for all the trees. All I see are trees. So I had to I go, I don't know if I could adjust to that. You get acclimated to the area of the country where you live. And so speaking of that, let's do another one before I was going to cut different pieces of paper. I cut out of the blue. I cut out of the stationery. I'm not going to cut all this colored paper. Let's get, shall we do a silhouette? Let's do a silhouette, a countryside silhouette out of black here. Let me set this aside. Now this is cardstock, so it'll be a little bit harder to, and I'm going to pick this piece up. We're going to put these over here. Let's do a landscape. Let's do a Nebraska landscape. And let's see, I can't, well, I could do it horizontally. Actually, let's see. If I cut it this way, it's going to mirror here. So I'll have to cut, okay. I have to think, because I'm not going to draw this out. I'm just going to cut, and I'll have because this is cardstock, my paper will be creased in here. It would be nicer to have so this might be something where you could doodle with let's do a little Nebraska. And because I want it to run across this way, So let's do a little farmhouse in here. And you think of Nebraska as being, I'm just going to do a little house here. I'm going to cut, as having these big wide open skies. All right, does that look like a little house? Oh, it does. But now we need a little space and a tree, and it'll be the same on each side. But we also maybe need a telephone pole type thing, or maybe a silo. Well, let's wait before now. See, now I want to skip, so I'm going to bring this down over this way, and I should be doing this maybe with my smaller scissors. And because let's just do a tree, and I'm just going to kind of do a simple shaped tree here. Is this a tree, Mary? Yeah, it's a tree. It needs to come in a little bit here and here for the tree trunk. And it's kind of hard to see where I'm going. There. And this cardstock is not quite as flexible. I would probably be doing this with my X-Acto knife. But we're going to do it. So shall we try an animal? Shall we try a bunny rabbit? He doesn't have to be, he could be a big bunny rabbit. Let's just try he's going to be a pretty big bunny. Let's give him some ears, but it's that concept of it's an animal. Let's give him a couple ears here. If I can get in there. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a cloud in here. Let's cut a cloud. Maybe a long, narrow one. Because that'll give this paper some flexibility. Let's see what I have here. Oh, my cloud needs to come up. My cloud needs to be cloudier. Puffier cloud. How does that look? That looks a little better. Now I'm cutting out the bunny rabbit. And I'm just trying to visualize him here. And do I want this piece to come out? Do I want? No, I don't. I want the trees to come out. All right, I won't cut it out then. I need to cut the bunny rabbit's other ear out here, and I'm trying to get in there. Let's get my scissors blade down in there. I can't imagine. I think it would be so fun to take a class. Because I can do the simple things like a big heart, a big square, a diamond, and maybe dress those up a little bit. To do all that intricate Scherenschnitte. I'm trying to get this bunny rabbit's ears there. And we're just going to make him one big rabbit here with little ears. Oh dear, I just wanted an animal. And what else should we put here? Maybe let's just put a telephone pole, because we got those here in Nebraska. Let's just put a kind of a little telephone pole on each side, or a windmill, but that would be kind of hard to cut too. Yeah, I gotta get my scissor blade in there. Get in there. Did I not go down? I thought I did. Go that way. And this probably would be where I would be using my X-Acto knife in here, because I'm having trouble getting my blade there. And then I want to come back in. And I want to do, this is a Nebraska landscape. Maybe that big bunny rabbit is out hopping around looking for carrots at night. I don't know. Now, what else should I do? A barn? That looks like a cross, but that's really a telephone pole. And let's do a barn. Let's cut a barn here. We'll make it kind of a tall little barn. And let's give it kind of a curved roof here. And he's going to be half on the paper and half off. There's my paper coming down this way. And we're just going to make it a negative image. Shall we make it negative? Let's see what I got here. Yeah, my house is negative, so the barn's going to be a negative cutout here. I'm just going to pull that open. There'll be a barn in each side. So what are we going to do with the sky? Let's cut the cross out here. Telephone pole. It looks like a cross, but it's meant to be a telephone pole. And the tree should probably come out too, right? Let's cut the tree out. And the bunny rabbit. Should the bunny rabbit come out? Here. Yep, the bunny rabbit needs to come out too. Oh, he's not a bad bunny rabbit. We're going to snip him out. I should snip them both at the same time, but I'm just going to snip him out there. And where's the other? This should come out. So start simple and play, you know, because the more you play, the tree has a big fat trunk here that I didn't intend. The tree's kind of weird, but it is what it is, what it is. Let's get this other bunny rabbit out of there. Now, Nebraska has big, wide open skies. I'm not sure I like this, but it's fun to imagine. These are barns. These are telephone poles. You know how the telephone poles go up straight? There should really be lines going there. Let's put a line there. Can I put a line in there? We'll make a line going to my telephone pole like that. Maybe a narrow line. This is Mary's imagining. Very simple shapes. And you know, you could take this and expand on it. You're getting an idea. There's the line of the telephone pole. You can get an idea of what you want, and then you could draw it. Let's draw this one. Let's do another one. Let's cut this in half. Let's cut this in half. Big old sky up here. It needs another cloud in here. Let's fold it this way and see if I can't put a puffy cloud in here. And you can just play and you can find out what's happening. And if you don't like it, you could do it again and say, okay, this is what happened here and this is what I need to do. Where's my, I can't see where I'm going. Black paper is kind of hard to snip on because it's black. And there's a cloud. There's a cloud on both sides of this. This is my landscape. There's a house, a tree with a fat trunk on each side, telephone, and this is the telephone wire, and the barns, and the bunny rabbit in there. There's a bunny rabbit with his ears there. It is what it is. Let's play with something else here. What should I do? Let's try something. Let's get the paper punch out. Let's get this little paper punch. I don't know if it'll punch through both of them. I don't know if it'll punch because this is pretty thick paper. Let's see if it'll punch through both. It will. You could do some, now if you had your, this is pretty thick stuff, But if you had your little paper punch, what I'm thinking is you could do some Zen doodling. Zen doodle. This looks like a paw print, doesn't it? Of course, you know, we've all played with stencil stuff. I don't know if this will cut through both of them. Let's try a big circle. No, it's not going to go all the way in there. It's going to be off center. We could put it down here. Let's see what it looks like in here. Almost to the end there, though. That's what I don't like about these punches. It'd be nice if this were up further. So when I put my paper in like this, I only got maybe a 1/16 of an inch. They need to extend this out so you can get more of your paper into where you're going. In the same way here, it's so far over to the edge. It's okay if you just want to punch a circle, but if you're trying to do something. All right, we're going to stop there, and I'm going to play with my scissors again. I'd like to Zen doodle on this, but I'm not sure how. So I'm just going to cut some lines. This is a doodle. This is a doodle piece. I'm just doodling with my scissors and my punch. So let's just put some lines. Let's just cut some lines as if we were doodling a curved area in here. If I can get it in. And it's paper. You know, that's what you need to remember. It's just paper. It's just paper. That's all it is. And of course, some paper is more expensive than other. I would advise you not to use expensive paper if you're just playing and if you're just learning. Let's get a little more of a curve on this. And I know there's beautiful paper cuts out there. This is not a lesson on how to do intricate work at all. What I'm saying is if you're playing, I'm challenging you to start small and play. That's more important than doing beautiful masterpiece art when you're not a masterpiece artist. Look at that. It's just a doodle. I would totally put that on collage that down on my page. Let's expand on that. How much time do I have? I've got a few minutes. Let's use this. This is black. This came out of a black drawing paper I got at Walmart. I'm going to cut this off. This is a little more flexible than that cardstock. I want to do more doodling. I want to doodle more. Let's see. Let's fold it this way. And I want to do, let's see. Let's start in this, kind of in the center. And let's do a sort of a fan shape thing. Like this. You know, those traditional, we see these a lot, especially in the Art Nouveau type, where it has a piece that comes out that way. And then it has another one that comes, of course, now this will be mirrored on both sides. Has another piece that comes out this way. If I can get it out. Here again, I'm doodling with my scissors. And another piece that comes a little bit further down. This will probably be the last one from here. And I'm having fun doing this. I could sit and do this all day long, but I probably shouldn't. I lost it in here. All right, here. And it needs to go up that way. And then another one that comes like this. Of course, now this will be mirrored. This is traditionally how the design goes, is like that. So think of it as doodling with your scissors. So 1, 2, this will be my last one here, so I'm going to make it come down more like that. Like that. So it will look like that. I kind of like that. It's kind of cool. So now let's do some pieces up in here. Let's just do a kind of a line. Now I don't want to cut it out though. I have to remember to leave those connectors. I have to remember to leave connectors. And I suppose if you were designing stencils, you could sit here and do some playing with paper cutting and then develop your stencil off of your paper cuts. So there's a connector right in here. I'm going to have a connector. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Kind of curve around here. Make it a little curvier. Like that. Whoops, I got a little thick in there. In my papers. I think if I were doing this for real, I would make sure that my paper held together. I think I would washi tape my paper on the edges here, because I find my paper wants to go different ways. Okay, let's open it up and look at it. Oh, I'm kind of liking it. Now, let's put some image art in the side, which here again, I'm going to have to get started. So I'm just going to do a snip in here. I'm going to do a snip here just to get me started. And because my paper is wobbly, let's see, how do I want to do that? Let's just snip it down. If I can get let's go to my little scissors. And I find it's hard to get that leaf shape in there. It wants to... It's hard to cut that curve in there. And I think I'll end it there. And then I'm going to do another little fold here, a narrow one. And we're going to do another snip in here, just a snip to give it some lacy effect, like that. I kind of like that. It's a little off. My paper's not folded straight. So let's do something similar. Fold it in here and do a snip. And this is the black piece of paper I was using for background. And get my little scissors out. And we're going to do a leaf in here. Maybe if I come down. Come on. This way. Let's see where I'm going. There. And get in there. There. That one's not quite as pretty, but it's there. I'd work on that more. I'm just getting the concept, and then I want to do another snip here. and kind of a long, not too long and narrow, but kind of a snip in there. Got all the snips all over my desk. So that's kind of weird in a way. I'm not sure I like it spread out this way. I like it this way. I like it this way. I'd probably develop this more. Let's do something in here just to play. What do I want to do? A leaf. Let's do a leaf. Oops, I tore it. That's because I'm impatient. There. Well, all right. It is what it is. It's not what I envisioned, but it is what it is. It's playing. It's playing. And see, I could just keep going here. I'm not done. Let's just cut an area out in here. I like that. And I don't know if I want to. Let's cut a snip. I need a snip like that. And then I want to cut a leaf in here. So that's, oh, I need to turn it off. My brother's turning on the TV. I need to go, guys. He's turning on the television. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.